Leg cramps at night aren't just painful, they're cruel. They sneak in when you're most vulnerable, just as you're about to drift off or deep in the middle of sleep. And suddenly, bam, you're bolt upright, clutching your calf or thigh, wide awake, sore, and wondering why this keeps happening. If you're over 60, chances are this isn't your first time. That sharp, sudden tightening, the long minutes rubbing the pain out, the quiet dread that it'll return as soon as you close your eyes again. But here's what most people don't realize: those nighttime cramps, they're not just an annoying part of aging. They're your body's way of sending a message, a warning. Something's off, and it's time to fix it. Whether it's your magnesium levels, your hydration habits, your sleep posture, or something else entirely, you don't need prescriptions or endless trips to the doctor to stop them. There are simple, science-backed things you can do at home starting tonight. In this video, I'm going to walk you through 5 easy changes that could make all the difference. We'll go step by step through why these cramps happen and how to stop them before they even start. And stick around, because the last one comes from a 2020 clinical study that showed over 60% fewer cramps in just a few weeks. If you've ever sat on the edge of the bed at 2 a.m., holding your leg and trying not to cry, I want to hear from you. Drop a comment below. You are not alone. And if you haven't already, hit subscribe and tap the bell for more real, science-backed advice here on Health 365, where we help you stay strong, sleep better, and feel amazing after 60. All right, let's start with something surprisingly simple: your sleep position. Let's be honest, most of us don't give a second thought to how our legs are positioned at night. But the truth is, your sleep setup could be directly causing your cramps. Here's why. As we get older, our joints stiffen, our muscles don't bounce back as fast, and the way our body rests during sleep changes. If your legs are stretched out too straight, twisted, or even slightly angled the wrong way for hours at a time, that silent tension can build up. And eventually, your body jolts awake with a cramp. Sleep researchers have found that extended or awkward leg positions, especially if your legs stay crossed, tight, or fully extended, can overstretch the calf and hamstring muscles. And when those muscles get overextended, your nervous system reacts the only way it knows how: by contracting them hard. That's the cramp. But the fix? It's easy. If you're a side sleeper, place a pillow between your knees. This keeps your hips and spine aligned and prevents your legs from twisting. If you sleep on your back, try putting a small pillow or rolled-up blanket under your knees. This creates a natural bend in your legs, easing pressure on your lower back and keeping your calf muscles more relaxed. You don't need anything fancy, just something soft but supportive. Try it for 3-4 nights in a row. You might be shocked how quickly the cramps stop. And bonus, if you also wake up with hip or back pain, this one change could make mornings a whole lot better. Okay, now that we've got your sleep position working with your body instead of against it, let's talk about what you can rub on your body to help. Let's talk about something most doctors overlook: magnesium, but not the kind you swallow. We're talking about magnesium that you rub directly onto your skin, right where the cramps hit. It's called transdermal magnesium, and it's a game changer. See, when you're over 60, your digestion isn't always as efficient. Swallowing a magnesium pill might seem like a good idea, but your gut may only absorb a small fraction of it. And large doses? They can upset your stomach or send you running to the bathroom in the middle of the night, not exactly helpful when you're trying to rest. That's why applying magnesium oil topically right on your calves, thighs, or wherever those cramps tend to hit can be so much more effective. It skips the digestive system and goes straight into the tissues that need it most. And that matters, because magnesium is the mineral that helps your muscles turn off after a contraction. Without enough of it, your muscles can stay locked tight, twitchy, and prone to cramps. This isn't just theory. In 2019, researchers at the University of Sheffield studied 48 adults, who had leg cramps at least 4 nights a week. Half of them rubbed a 5% magnesium chloride solution into their legs for 2 minutes every night. The other half used a placebo. After just 2 weeks, the magnesium group had 31% fewer cramps. And the cramps that did happen? Less painful. No side effects. No pills. Just better sleep. Want to try it? Here's how. About 30 minutes before bed, spray or pour a small amount about the size of a coin of magnesium oil into your palm. Gently rub it over the area that usually cramps. A slow, light massage helps improve blood flow and encourages the magnesium to absorb. If you feel a little tingle at first, that's normal, and it usually fades after a few uses. Keep the bottle next to your bed so you don't forget. Most people feel a real difference by night 5. Now that you've got magnesium helping your muscles from the outside in, let's talk about salt. Yes, salt. You've probably been told to cut back, and in some cases, that's smart. But cutting out too much salt can actually cause cramps. Here's why. Salt contains sodium, one of your body's essential electrolytes. Your nerves and muscles need it to communicate properly. Without enough sodium, those signals misfire. And misfiring nerves? That's when cramps strike. The American Heart Association says you need at least 500 milligrams of sodium a day just to support normal nerve and muscle function. That's about a 1/4 teaspoon of salt. But here's what often happens. People trying to be super healthy cut salt almost entirely. No salt in food, no sodium in soup or broth. Add in water pills or extra hydration, and suddenly, your sodium levels dip too low. It's called hyponatremia, and guess what one of the main symptoms is? Leg cramps. That doesn't mean you should start eating salty chips or adding loads of soy sauce, but it does mean a pinch of sea salt in your dinner, especially after sweating, taking diuretics, or drinking a lot of water, might be exactly what your body needs. Try tracking how your body feels on days when you include just a bit more salt. Some people notice fewer cramps and better energy in the evening. And if you've got high blood pressure or kidney issues, always talk to your doctor about your safe range. But if you've gone ultra-low sodium and still suffer from cramps, this might be a missing puzzle piece. Speaking of hydration, let's clear up one more myth. You've probably heard it your whole life. Drink more water. But did you know that drinking too much water, especially at the wrong time, can actually trigger leg cramps? It sounds strange, but it's true. Too much plain water can dilute your electrolyte levels, especially sodium and potassium. When that balance gets thrown off, your muscles can misfire. That means cramps, spasms, or that twitching feeling that wakes you up at 2 a.m. A study in BMJ Open Sport, Exercise Medicine found that athletes who drank only water without replacing the salt they lost from sweat were much more likely to cramp. Now, you may not be running marathons, but if you're sweating during the day, taking diuretics, or just trying to stay hydrated with lots of water, you might be unintentionally flushing out your electrolytes. So what can you do instead? First, ditch the outdated 8 glasses a day rule. Instead, sip water throughout the day, based on thirst. And stop drinking 2 to 3 hours before bed. That helps prevent both cramps and midnight bathroom trips. If you've been drinking mostly plain water and still wake up with cramps, try adding a pinch of sea salt or a splash of electrolyte mix to your afternoon water. That little tweak can help keep your muscles calm and supported. All right, we've covered sleep position, magnesium oil, the right balance of sodium, and smart hydration. But there's still one last piece of the puzzle. And it's not something you drink or rub on, it's something you do. Stretching. I know it sounds simple, but don't underestimate it. A 2020 study published in BMC Geriatrics found that older adults who followed a short stretching routine just 3 times a day had up to 60% fewer leg cramps within a month. That's huge. Why does it work? As we age, our muscles shorten and tighten. Combine that with more sitting, less daily movement, and certain medications, and you've got legs that are always on edge. One small movement during sleep, and bam, cramp. But gentle stretching resets that tension. It calms overactive nerves, improves blood flow, and teaches your body to relax again. You don't need an hour-long yoga session. Just a few minutes, 3 times a day after breakfast, lunch, and before bed. Focus on your calves, hamstrings, and quads. Hold each stretch for 30 seconds. Breathe deeply. Don't force it. And if balance is tough, use a wall or chair. Seated stretches work just as well. And here's the bonus. Stretching doesn't just help your legs. It helps your mind. It lowers stress, eases anxiety, and supports better sleep. Try it tonight, just one stretch before bed. A simple seated hamstring reach is a great start. Do it for a few nights and notice how your legs feel. Many people say they feel lighter, less tight, and more limber within a week. Now that you've got all 5 tools, sleep support, magnesium, balanced salt, proper hydration, and gentle stretching, you're not just reacting to cramps. You're preventing them. So let's wrap this up with a little encouragement. You don't have to accept cramps as a part of getting older. You don't have to dread bedtime, wondering if you'll be jolted awake by stabbing pain. And you don't have to wait for prescriptions or fancy treatments. The most powerful changes are often the quiet ones. The pillow under your knees. The magnesium oil beside your bed. That little pinch of sea salt you stopped fearing. The way you sip water mindfully. And those few moments, you pause, stretch, and breathe. These aren't just wellness tips. They're daily actions. They're your tools to sleep deeper, move easier, and take back control. And if it doesn't all work right away, that's okay. Be patient with your body. Start with one habit. Stick with it for 2 or 3 weeks. That's when the shift happens. That's when people say, "I can't believe I used to live like that." If this video helped, leave a comment and tell me what you're trying. I read every one, and your story might help someone else. And if you want more real science-backed tips like this, hit that like button and subscribe to Vital 365. Every week, we share practical ways to help you stay strong, sleep better, and feel amazing after 60. You deserve calm, cramp-free nights. And they're closer than you think. Thanks for watching. Take care, and I'll see you in the next one.